Hi, everyone. This is Bruce Gaskill. I am the Director of Sales here at PayNearMe, and we very much appreciate everybody taking time out of their busy schedule to learn more about automating collections and getting more on-time payments. I'm pleased to also announce we have Lisa Patterson, VP of Operations with DriveNow Acceptance. And Lisa is here to share the results she's had since selecting PayNearMe as her payment processor and some of the business challenges we've helped her solve. Lisa, you want to give a shout out?
Hello, everybody.
Well, hello. So we want to share with you some tax season statistics, and we want to talk about some of the challenges that we've observed in servicing non-prime customers, some simple strategies that you can deploy for reducing your servicing costs. And then we have Lisa, who's going to share with you the case study of how DriveNow Acceptance is using technology to create large six-figure savings for her business. If we have time at the end, we'll do a live product demonstration. And we wanted to get in front of you now because this is technology that you can deploy before tax season and start recognizing these benefits early. So with that, let me just walk you through why we picked this time to engage everyone. So tax season is a wonderful time for non-prime lenders. Fact of the matter is that the average household will receive between $2,700 and $3,000 in tax returns. And for the non-prime lending space, this is a great opportunity to make sales. In fact, for many of you, it's the busiest time of the year. You might even refer to tax season as the Christmas of used car sales or the Christmas of non-prime auto sales. So it's an important time for you to get your customers set up on payment solutions that are easy. And the easier you make it for your customers to pay, the less likely they are to go delinquent and the more likely they are to pay on time. And so we're going to show you one of the easiest ways for your customers to pay. Additionally, as we talk to our non-prime lenders, we've come to recognize that there's very high servicing costs associated dealing with these customers. And there's a lot of drivers to the cost of servicing customers, but probably the biggest driver is, quite honestly, they don't go online to pay. They call in to pay, they walk in to pay. Going on the internet to pay, not so much. And so what we're going to do is spend time with Lisa, and she's going to share with you technology, strategy, and technique to drive more self-service and reduce the amount of calls that you're receiving to service these customers. The reality is you're going to have some good customers who pay regularly, and you're going to have some more difficult customers that you have to work with more aggressively. And we want to make it easy for your good customers to pay so you have more time to work with some of your more challenging borrowers. So, we've been servicing the non-prime lending space now for 11 years. And 2 years ago, we started to do electronic payments. So historically, we've only processed cash through a network of 20,000 retailers, including CVS and 7-Eleven and Casey's General Store. Recently, we started doing ACH, debit, Apple Pay, and others. And we heard a common theme as we went out and talked to clients about what they wanted in a payment product. And I think the common theme is more than half of my customers call me monthly, sometimes 70, 80%. So I take the majority of my payments over the phone, even if they're a good customer. Or we hear things like, my customers simply don't pay online. And we also hear a bigger and bigger market wanting to eliminate all payments from the dealership. So, if these are some themes that might help you scale up your business or reduce your servicing costs, we're going to show you the tools and techniques to achieve those goals. And, I would ask you to think about this is what happens when your collectors or your salespeople in the dealership become cashiers? I can tell you nothing good happens. Your cost of payments go way up because you're having to have a human standing by to take all your payments. Your customers are waiting on hold. It sounds kind of ridiculous, but they're trying to pay you and they're sitting on hold waiting to get a hold of an agent. And then your agents are busy on the phone talking to customers that really just want to make a payment. They're good customers, which takes away time of contacting your most challenging customers. And then the one that makes me smile is the thought of when your customers come back to the salesperson to pay, inevitably they're going to bring up any little issue they have with the car, and it's going to come back every month. And so if they pay remotely through self-service, it's just one less piece of noise that the salespeople in the dealership have to deal with. So we've brought a subject matter expert on the phone with us today, and she's agreed to share her insight, techniques, and ideas. And so with that, I'm going to have a conversation with Lisa Patterson with Drive Now Acceptance. And we put together a couple questions, so I'll just go ahead and start off. Lisa, we've met more than a year ago. Quite honestly, we met like 5 years ago.
5 years ago, yeah.
Yeah. And I came to you and I said, we'd like to do your debit business, but we've learned a lot. Why don't you share with the folks a little bit about your business so they can get a sense of who you are and what you do?
Sure. So I run a related finance company that does financing for 3 buy here, pay here locations in the state of Illinois. We have, as of this morning, 2,042 customers that we do servicing for out of one location for the 3 different dealership locations.
Sweet. And yeah, but think that handles that. So let's dig a little bit deeper. When I first met with you, you had multiple payment processors. We were lucky enough to have your cash business, but recently you consolidated to just one payment processor, PayNearMe. How do you use PayNearMe in your day-to-day operations?
So we love PayNearMe. The collectors absolutely love it. And as you know, Bruce, they were hounding me more to hound you to get everything up and running as they started hearing about this process. So we have driven 2 locations to being completely cash-free by using the apps, which is integrated with our dealer management software program. We literally can just send the customer a text link. Our customers actually like it. They're able to sit at home and make their payment. The ones who want to pay cash have not given us any pushback. They like that they can walk into their local CVS, 7-Eleven, Casey's, which is pretty much in every one of our dealers, where our dealers are located. There's one of those 3 places is within less than a mile of where our entire customer base is pretty much, out of. They just go online. They can make the payment through you guys. They can do it off their mobile phones, or like I said, we do still have customers that walk in and are doing it at those locations, and they like the ease of being able, they're setting up recurring payments, and we have seen a much increased amount of customers that are just automatically doing it on their own.
Automatically doing it on their own. I like the sound of that.
Yep.
So you said something about eliminating cash from your dealerships, but I think you just eliminated all payments, right?
We have eliminated 2 dealerships are now, well, actually the one dealership is 100% cash-free, debit-free, no customers come into the location anymore. And we're on about 45 days out after we completely turned off all the payments. We have been able to reduce some staff in that way too. You already mentioned the benefit earlier as far as not having people coming in and salespeople getting involved in payments and not being able to focus on sales, service department having to deal with minor service issues. It's really been a very smooth transaction. It's was a little smoother than we thought it was going to be. We were expecting some pushback from some of the customers, but between the ease of now salespeople can focus on sales. Service can focus on the real service needs, not, I have a light bulb out in my car that takes 30 minutes of their time because they want to complain about something. We don't have any misunderstandings now between what the finance company actually requires versus what may be said by a salesperson if they're new. And we have eliminated overhead by eliminating the cashier position.
Yeah, that's crazy. You just completely severed sales and service, even though, both companies are owned by the same business.
And it's nicer, too, because now it's making a very definite distinction that the dealership is superior. Drive Now is a finance company. We don't want to be involved in service stuff, which that eliminates because you're not commingling both the businesses.
And what techniques are the collectors using to help improve their efficiency and your profitability?
So by having these text links and by how we geared up and let the customers all know what's happening, we're able now to focus on our challenged customers. Being buy here, pay here, we typically every Friday and Saturday are huge paydays. And the collectors aren't able to get to those challenging customers because all they're doing is on the phone dealing with somebody saying, okay, thank you for your payment, have a good day. And when you're taking 700 to 800 payments between 4 collectors on a Friday, they can't get through the calls that they need to get through. So it's nice because it's improving. We're getting to who we need to get to, and the customers still get their payments paid without having to deal with us on the phone as well.
And do these customers have to wait on hold to get through to you?
No, normally they do, not anymore. It's our call volume is dropped drastically, and the payments just automatically, because again we're integrated. It's the payments are made and they post automatically, and my collectors don't even have to worry about those customers.
So how much do you think the call volumes dropped in the 1 or 2 billing cycles you've been doing this?
Probably I just ran the numbers too, and we were just over 32% drop in call volume of inbound calls.
Well, that's awesome. Yeah,
yeah.
We've been seeing that pretty consistently, anywhere between 30 and 50% drop in call volume. It takes a little time to educate the consumers how easy it is to pay at their home on their smartphone, but the benefit's real because now your collectors have time to talk to your most challenging customers.
Yeah.
So, it's not uncommon to hear these type of business issues and see these types of results. Customers waiting on hold to pay, collectors trying to get through call after call after call, which is mostly good customers who would have paid anyway, and they don't have time to deal with some of the more challenging customers. I think the thing that surprised me the most was that there was really no noise, that you were able to just roll this out to your customers and they generally accepted it, right?
Yes, that's correct. We started, we did 60 days out. We started putting flyers just so it was getting in everybody's ear, and we could see customers would call and get the link, and we could gradually see the amount of walk-in stuff customers was slowing down anyway. Then when we went live, completely live, and shut it off, it wasn't anything that was, we didn't spring it on the customers. Yeah. And we started we started having the good feedback, and so it just made everything start going very smooth.
Well, if you stopped taking payments at 3 dealerships, did you bring on another collector for the extra volume?
No, so we were in the process of interviewing for a lower end collector that was going to have to come in just strictly to be able to take payments. We have not had to do that, nor am I going to have to at this time. So that's one large piece of overhead. And both the dealerships have, actually it was as of yesterday, there are no more cashiers in the two outlining dealerships. So those overheads are gone now.
That's crazy. Well,
Yep.
Congratulations. What I'd like to do is, I'm kind of a visual guy, harken back to MTV. So what I want to do is just do a brief demo of what collectors see, what agents see, and what customers see, just to give the folks on this call a little snapshot of some of the technology we have. And granted, we're only going to be able to show you about 5% of what the platform's capable of doing, but I think you'll be impressed with what we've built specifically to service non-prime lenders. So just got to locate my mouse here and get my phone up. So for the folks joining remotely, we've got two things up on the screen. Number one is we've got the PayNearMe user interface on the left, and then on the right we have my mobile phone, and I'm just having trouble seeing my mouse right now. So one second here while I work through this technical difficulty here. One second. Okay, my mouse is back. The mouse is back. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to log into the tools that that allow you to send out text messages to customers. And we'll expand this out. So on the left side is a collector interface, and on the right side is my smartphone. And so I'm going to look up an account for this lender, Smart Acceptance, and the account is, hit search. We found the account belongs to Bruce, and we've got the right account, and we see that Bruce owes $335, and we've got an email and a phone number. Now, the use case here could be either during loan origination, or it could be during a welcome call when you just acquired a batch of loans from a local lender, local dealer, or it could be a collections call. But what you want to do is ask the customer permission to send them a text. So the customer says yes, and I hit send a text. On the screen here, you get a visual confirmation that text was sent, and then I go back to my phone, and I can just see, I saw that a text came in. As the consumer, looking at my phone on the right, if I click on the text, I can see that I received a link that says complete your Smart Acceptance payment. So this is happening in real time. The collector and the customer are having a conversation on the phone. If I click make a payment, it automatically logs me into the portal. So now I can see the amount due. I can see the lender's name. I can see the lender account number. I can see the amount due. We can populate the due date. And so my options are really to make a payment. I can schedule a payment for later in the week, or I can schedule recurring payments, or I can make a one-time payment now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to choose Pay Now. And the beauty of this is that we can accept multiple tender types. So they can enter their banking information for an ACH transaction. They can enter their debit card, or they can go to a local retailer to pay by cash. If I wanted to pay by cash, I just choose the Pay by Cash option, and it'll automatically display the retailers that are closest to me. So I've got a couple CVS's and a couple of 7-Elevens. And if I choose a retailer, it displays a UPC barcode. This barcode is exactly like you'd find on a candy bar or a bottle of water. You just show this barcode to any cashier, they scan it, and you pay your bill, and it's automatically updated in real time. The good thing about cash is there's no returns or chargebacks. All funds are considered good and guaranteed, and the customer walks out with a receipt, which makes them happy. You can pay with other tender types. I'm just going to simulate a quick payment. And it's asking me to use my latitude and longitude. And I'm going to enter in a good bank account. And so I've got the bank account number and routing number. I'm going to hit add. And one of the benefits that we do is we run this bank account number and the customer name up against a service called GAIAC Verify. And what GAIAC does is it makes sure that the customer name and the account number matches a third-party database. Sometimes the customers make mistakes and they enter the wrong account number. GAIAC checks against that to make sure that they didn't make a mistake and the correct account will be hit. Additionally, GAIAC can check to see if there's any negative check writing history, and if there is, it could either block the payment or provide early warning. So everything's good so far. I just hit continue. I display the required NACHA terms and conditions and hit complete. And the beautiful thing is that I get the receipt sent right to my smartphone. I get the option to schedule a future payment. And I have the ability to go back and make other payments. We also have add to wallet capability. So if I want to save this on my phone, whether I have an Android and I want to save it to my Google Wallet, or if I have an Apple, I want to save it to my Apple Wallet, I can save this link in my wallet and I can send billing reminders to the wallet. And then I can also, if the collector is, well, actually, we just made a payment. I wanted to show that if the collector was talking to the customer while they made the payment, and you refresh the screen, you can see that the last payment amount is updated in real time, and now the collector has confirmation that the funds are good. So this becomes a training exercise. You send the text to the customer once, they use it over and over and over again, and because it's incredibly simple, there's no account number to enter, there's not a requirement to create a user ID and password, but we can turn that on for you if you wish. And the customer can pay with anything that's in their wallet. There's basically no excuses for not paying. Cash, debit, ACH, it's all good. And here I just wanted to show that the smartphone remembers the last payment that was used. And so if I want to make another payment, I don't have to enter anything. I just click make a payment, and it automatically populates with the amount, and I hit continue, and I'm good. So I'll return back to the PowerPoint, make sure that we covered everything that we had discussed today. Let me get something out of the way here. So in summary, we just showed you one way to pay, send out a simple text, but PayNearMe provides a complete payment platform, online self-service, text-to-pay, email pay, Apple Pay, Google Pay, Apple Wallet, Google Wallet. We provide a stable, reliable, PCI-compliant platform so that you don't have to be PCI-compliant. But more importantly, we provide you the ability to reduce your call volume, accept any tender type, and drive down your servicing cost. So we've already gone through this demo. I'm going to go ahead and bypass it, and we're going to go ahead and wrap up this call. I think that we covered everything that we wanted to cover today, Steve, and I'm going to go ahead and pause and see if there's any questions that have come in.
Great. Thank you so much, Bruce. Thank you, Lisa. We have a few questions we'll answer here, and then there's a few we'll answer, personal questions we'll answer after the call offline. So the first question that came up Someone asked, how many of these cash kiosks do you have?
That's a wonderful question. I get asked that all the time. Uh, the fact of the matter is there are no kiosks. We are integrated directly with the retail point of sale system. So you can bring your smartphone in there. You can pick up water, chapstick. You can buy, you can pick up your medications, and you could pay your car payment, and they'll all show up on the exact receipt. So any cashier, any register, they just scan the barcode, combine all your purchases, and you leave with a single receipt, including your auto loan.
Great, thank you, Bruce. And a question for Lisa came in, looks like. Someone was asking Lisa, why did you decide to go cash-free and stop accepting payments on site?
It was just getting to the overhead, then the fact that the salespeople were just getting inundated with customers, and the amount of service time that was taken away from actually doing services job, sales job. So when Bruce was explaining all the new features that it had, it really became something that was very, very interesting, and now it's turning into something that is hugely beneficial financially for our company.
Great, thank you so much, Lisa. We had another question. Oh, this is interesting. What happens if a customer makes a payment with a credit or debit card that doesn't belong to them?
Sure. So this happens in your world today. They call in and make a payment, and potentially they've received permission to use somebody else's card. If the card's authorized, we're going to process the payment on your behalf. Lisa, what's your thoughts on people that might be using a family member or a friend's card to make their payment?
So we have had that issue. I can tell you though, we've had one, I think, in the several months that we've now integrated with PayNearMe, and it was just that somebody said somebody stole a card, and we didn't fight the chargeback. It's going to happen. It's part of business. It's not something that we're concerned about because we don't have anywhere close to a high chargeback rate.
Now, the one thing that you can do, and I'm just adding to this, is the PayNearMe system allows you on a customer by customer basis to turn on and turn off tender types. So if you have a customer who is constantly having non-sufficient funds on ACH, or they did something silly with somebody else's debit card, you can actually go into that customer's account and hide that tender type, forcing them to pay in cash so that you can restrict that customer's access to doing other silly things.
Great, thank you. And we have time for one more question, and then we'll wrap up. We have a question again for you, Bruce. Any costs to the dealer? Does PayNearMe make their money from customer payment fees?
That is an awesome question. So the only revenue that we earn is processing fees. Now, you have the ability to pass the fee on to the customer, making it free to the non-prime lender, or you can absorb the fee and pay on behalf of the customer, making it free to the consumer, or we can do a hybrid approach where maybe if they call in, there's a fee, but if they do it on their own, there's no fee, or if they do a recurring, there's no fee, but if they do a one-time, there's a fee. And the one thing, so basically the sky's the limit. We would consult with you and find out what goals you were trying to achieve, and then we would design a program that allowed you to achieve those goals. I'd also like to say the extra value-added services that we provide are at no cost. So sending a text, completely free. Sending an email, completely free. Apple Wallet and Google Wallet, no charge. And we are rolling out product enhancements weekly. So as we add new ways to pay or new features, they're just made available to you at no charge. We truly operate on processing fee basis only. And we do find that most credit card statements are very complex. Sometimes you receive more than one statement for any credit card bill. I want you to know that we're going to make the pricing extremely simple. One price, very predictable. It's not going to come as two separate bills. It's just one price, includes everything the platform provides.
Great. Thank you so much. It is just before 2:35, so we are going to wrap up. We do want to sincerely thank everyone who joined us today on this webinar. And we want to especially thank Lisa Patterson from Drive Now Acceptance and Bruce Gaskill. We will be sending an email with the recording of this webinar for you to view again. And we will be following up with any questions we didn't get to answer one-on-one after the webinar. Thanks so much, everyone, and have a great day.